You are watching Xirtus.
Your talk with Leo Zagami,
Hmm.
excellent, always excellent. Like it's one of those things where it's like I would love to like be a part of that conversation, but you do it so well and it's so informative. And like how what a perfect person to have to discuss the Pope right after. Like it was like that just so you had him on at that timing felt really synchronistic, you know.
Well, it was crazy because it was definitely synchronistic in the sense that I'd been planning it before the Pope was selected, and I was going to have him on the week before. I was like, let's wait a couple of days. We'll do it afterwards. And for it to be, I titled the video, I scheduled the video already, so it was already made. And if you went to the YouTube page, you would have seen this was the first video titled Pope Leo in history, as far as I can tell. No one had, because he hadn't chosen his name yet. He hadn't been chosen as Pope. So the fact that Leo is going to be talking with the Pope, we said Pope Leo, that's pretty interesting to me. That if you were to look it up, this is the first video titled Pope Leo, and it came out a day or two before. I mean, the title existed a day or two before there was a Pope Leo.
There's
Pretty
some
crazy.
really crazy symbolism to that, and it's a kind of apocalyptic because like
Mm-hmm.
Leo,
Tribe of
obviously
Judah.
it's attribution with the sun, and so like even the way that that aligns itself in the like when you arrange the 22 major arcana of a tarot deck as the Vesica Piscis, and you can basically, because of the, if you look at the Roman numerals, the way that they're arranged in like the Crowley deck, you'd end up having what should be Aleph on one side because it's the first, and would be Lamed on the other, which would correspond to Justice, or in Crowley's deck Adjustment. When you do the switch that he has with the Lust card, which would originally be Strength, that corresponds to Leo. So you'd actually end up, there's an arrangement where you can end up with the sun on one side and Leo on the other as strength or lust. And so there's symbolism there of like Leo's being equated with the sun. Like Crowley saying, you could just call me Little Sunshine when in court, when over the 666 name title. You know, they're like, oh, isn't that, why would you call yourself that? It's the beast 666. And he's like, oh, it just means sunshine. You can just call me Little Sunshine. So it's very interesting to have the Pope at this time have that like association symbolically with the sun as a Leo. And then the fact that you had Leo Sagami.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, so, I mean, Leo, the victorious Lion of Judah, the last sign of the Christian zodiac, fulfills what previous 11 signs have pointed to: Jesus. The Lion of Judah, this victor over Satan, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, is triumph. In God's zodiac, was it the lion stands over the Hydra, the long snake representing the devil, which is the largest separate constellation in the sky. Hydra stretches across the sky by more than 100 degrees below the constellations of Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. So there's also kind of an Ophiuchus connection there, like the lion and the snake, and then the idea that Mother Mary
Well,
steps on the serpent. Yeah.
Tet. So Tet would correspond to strength or lust, which is from its Phoenician and Chaldean roots is actually a serpent. So you have that, and also obviously the demiurge, that figure of like the lion with the body of the snake. You know, yeah.
Yaldabaoth, yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yaldabaoth for sure sticks out. That's something
Mhm.
like, so yeah, this is the new pope in a lot of ways.
Right, yeah.
It's funny, dude. I was actually I was reading articles. I found some from the darker side of the internet and some of the regular side of the internet. We were talking about Pope Francis this morning, actually, because the Nazis want to claim that he's a Jew, but also the Zionists want to claim that he's a Jew. And so they're kind of working hand in hand looking for him. And so there's some articles out, like, I guess he has some German Jewish ancestry and mixed with some like Black Cajun ancestry as well. It's kind of interesting guy, or
Wow.
any interesting lineage as well. But I do think it's funny when they're both like fighting each other, but also trying to prove the same thing. It was pretty funny this morning.
There was a funny meme that I saw earlier. It wasn't like exactly even a meme per se. Let me see if I can find the picture of it though. Where is it? Or back. Oh, no. It's not in my Synctank group. It's in the based group here. Here we go. Wiki article: Robert Francis Provost's Predator stunt work. So this isn't real at all. Francis Prevost, future pope, served as the stunt performer for Predator Alien in 1987 film Predator while simultaneously working as a priest. He continues clerical work before ascending to the papacy in 2025. While this isn't true, I recommend everyone to look it up by typing Prevost Predator, because if you are Pope Leo Predator, because if you start to look into it's a great way to find other articles about the Catholic Church and predatory practices with the Pope. That's
You're saying this isn't real at all. This is not, because this looks like a Wikipedia thing right here.
Exactly. It's brilliant, but it really, what it does is it makes you want to Google it. And then if you Google like Pope Leo predator, as accused of failing to properly investigate allegations, or you can type in the same Robert Prevost predator. You'll get the same thing. I had a video that was titled Predator Pope, and it got taken down, or it got demonetized or something like that. So that might already
get demonetized for saying this in the show right now.
Just saying the words right now. Yeah, I think there's a lot of effort to make this guy look like the good guy. But it's interesting because he was associated with a number of circumstances where he failed to act. That's what they keep saying, is that he kind of helped shuffle people around. And it does really remind me of the South Park about the Pope and the South Park. Well, there's like a few episodes because.
I know the one you're talking about. Okay, the different one. Yeah.
The Secret Easter Society one also. So there's the one where you find out that they just cover up child molestations and they have a deep cleaning room that comes.
right.
But it's also the American Catholic Association, American Catholic Society. They have ninjas that will kill you if you don't go along with the program. And it's crazy to see an American Pope from that perspective, that the American Catholic Society is so different from the Vatican. But I don't know. Thoughts on that? Maybe
he's not a Jesuit like the previous Pope. The previous Pope was the first Jesuit Pope. Am I right? That was the story.
Well, I believe so. Oh, it's been. I think there was previous Jesuit popes, but long. I thought there were. Yeah, but he was the first one in a long time, and
Grocket.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, this guy is Augustinian, right? He was.
Yeah, Augustine order is really close, in my opinion, though. Like, I think you're pretty much the Jesuits kind of control them. There's never been a Jesuit Pope. So this
Pope
is the
Francis was a Jesuit, no?
No, Francis was a Franciscan.
Well, that's weird. Okay. I remember mainstream sources at the time saying that. So because he was like another level of monastic, right?
So
like the way
Pope Francis was associated with the Jesuits due to his membership in the Jesuit order before becoming Pope. But technically, he was no longer a Jesuit in the formal sense upon his election.
Oh, come on, isn't it like once a Jesuit, always a Jesuit? I mean, we're not talking like he just went to a Jesuit school like Trump or freaking Martin Sheen or something. It's like, Although Martin Sheen is actually a Jesuit. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, there's not a lot of escape from there. So when you type that out, actually a lot of popes had been members of the Jesuits. They just don't refer to themselves as Jesuits once they become pope. That's crazy.
How can you this is the thing. It's like the Rothschilds or something with Judaism. Like these aren't practicing Jesuits really. Like I've seen imagery of Martin Sheen participating with some Jesuit ritual where he's got the fake blood on him with the crucifixion, whatever they're doing. But like it doesn't make any sense because you think that Martin Sheen lives a Jesuit lifestyle and everything that's required of that. Like there's no way. Whereas like Pope Francis, he did live that way apparently. I mean, technically speaking, like with his living quarters and it's weird.
Yeah, so Pope Francis joined the Jesuits in 1958, but wasn't ordained a Jesuit priest until 1969, because it takes years. You have to be super well educated. You have to do some weird, secret agent mission where you like build a church in Burundi or something that's actually a cover for the CIA, and you have to serve in all these different ways before they give you any power. So he served as a Jesuit in various roles, including provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina from 1973 until 1979. But upon becoming bishop in 1992, he was no longer bound. Bishops are not bound to religious orders, so he was no longer bound to his Jesuit vows. By 1992.
Is that what the meaning is in a chessboard? The directive in which they can go. Isn't that what that's symbolic of?
Diagonally. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to see a Jesuit suspicion in America. We always have had Catholics that don't trust the Jesuits. It seems like they're like, the Jesuits are the bad guys, or to the Americans.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing, is that there's a certain dignity that's traditionally ascribed to the Jesuits, which is why it's such a vulnerable order for people to want to attach themselves to, because it has that reputation. I was going to say, though, about the bishop thing with the diagonal move, is like they say Kabbalistically in the Zohar that the klipot, the outside ones, they rule temporarily the lower worlds of the Kabbalistic tree through the diagonal pathways, of which there are 12. So there's like symbolism to the, you know, the bishop moving in that route. So it's like, it's like, you know, because the klipot mirror tetragrammaton. So it's this kind of like fun house like, you know, they're mirroring the order that exists in nature in our own intellect. And so the idea that what organized religion exists as it's not the thing in itself, the order that we see in nature, it's this replication of it. And so it makes sense that the bishop would align itself with that directive symbolically.
Right. And then, yeah, if you guys like this stuff, you might be already hearing this right now from a clip. You never know. But Xirtus Amoeba, that's the Clips channel. Jose's doing an amazing job. You can already see there's like 10-minute, 5-minute, 11-minute, different length, short little bits here. Some of the best ones. Here's Alex Stein and me talking about internet ghettos, political correctness, safe spaces. And Tracy Twyman, there's actually 2 solid clips, Big Pharma, Time Warp, Funny or Die, remembering Tracy Twyman and Genuflect. Yeah, we had a great conversation last week about Tracy, and then we ended up getting Jose put this clip out, and it's like, if you want to just tell someone about it, I would say send them the 13-minute video, because it's a short, quick way to get introduced. I heard a lot of people say they liked that one a lot, and a lot of people who never heard of Tracy before. People now are really interested in Tracy, got genuflect and are reading about it, and they said this was a great way that we stayed on a subject they could follow the whole time, and then things they didn't know about and they learned.